Hey, folks, welcome back to the Pulse. My name is Matt. This is Crypto Heartbeat, and it's an evening stream. I was just on Jim Rat Crypto, and that was an awesome stream. Folks, I'm just so fired up, and I had a little extra time. So I thought, you know what? I better get on here and tell folks what's going on. If you have not been paying attention, if you don't watch the Twitters, you need to see this. Richard Hart himself has said the pulsex.com and pulsechain.com main net are estimated to launch publicly in less than 7 days. 22 minutes ago, Richard Hart posted this. Previously, he had posted 42 minutes ago. He's got news. Everything's looking really, really good. What was once measured in years, then months, then weeks, is now measured in days. He's been really careful about giving us timelines. He's like, all things are made out of thin air or sand or molecules or other things we find quite abundant. The magic is in the organization. Heck, we're mostly water. What is that a reference to, folks? What is that a reference to? Richard Hart is saying, hey, we create these things by speaking them into existence. And that's the great power of community, folks. Community is everything. You are a part of this, folks. This is an extension of you. You're contributing in a piece of yourself into this. Everyone does. I do it. Everyone, when they stream or when they support, or when they share, or when they put money in, you literally, it's an extension of you. Your fingerprints are all over it, and it really requires your activity. Folks, I am literally beside myself with excitement. For almost 2 years, I've been doing this because I heard Richard Hart say, I'm going to fork Ethereum. Oh my gosh, folks, this is unbelievable. We are days away. I'm thinking less than 7 days, right? He's saying less than 7 days. Well, what does that look like? So let's think about this and let's kind of use our heads about this and let's decide to think. So it's May 10th. It is a Wednesday, right? When is the cycle of things? Well, you could make a case that things could launch pre-bridge this weekend. But I would think that next week, the preparation for the next 2 days for Richard is to schedule the interviews. And because of this announcement, I think this is the go ahead for all right, who's going to get the first interview? And the person who gets the first interview is going to be nuts. I think it's going to be BitBoy, and I'm not sure if Richard is in the States or not. He may be. He was in the States a couple weeks ago. And so let's hope he's still here and he's actually on the BitBoy show. Ivan on Tech. Who knows what he's going to do, but he's going to make the rounds. Perfect timing because you got to think about those things. So, will it happen? I think it's going to happen very, very shortly. And maybe even we'll see pre-bridge over the weekend, maybe Sunday. And then I think we're going to see marketing and interviews and everything happening next week. So, get ready, folks. Are you ready for this? Let's see if you're ready. Let's jump into the chat. I'm just feeling spicy, salty, if you will. I was on the Jim Rat Crypto Show, and special thanks and shout out to Jim Rat. He wanted to talk about everything, life and everything. So I told him the truth, how I understand it to be, folks. And I'll tell you what, it was special, and I appreciate Jim Rat being so so transparent with his struggles and his challenges, and he's an authentic guy. And so I appreciate him so much for that. And we didn't even really talk about Texan Token, which is totally fine because, folks, where we're going, we don't need roads. We don't need roads. Terrence here. Let's go. Number one, Sam Kemp says, it's awesome. Sam Kemp, good to see you, my online ghost. Better be ready, everyone. That's right. Joey Torres is here. Peso, dude. It was impressive conversation. Much appreciated. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, this is just a joy. It's a joy to be with you folks in community. It's amazing to see how this is connecting to literally things in the world. And I'm just excited because I think you have a purpose. There's a reason that you know about this stuff. There's a reason that you're going to be in abundance because you're going to be needed. There's going to be things you're going to have to do. And this has been prepared in advance. Drix with the eyeballs popping out of his head. We are days, not weeks, folks. Let's go. Moon Whale's in the house. Good to see you, Mr. Rock Jockey. And of course, TexX dinner stream. Cool. Well, the reason I'm doing this TexX is my son is at church and my wife dropped him off at 6 and I pick him up at 8. And so I'm like, hey, I could get a stream in here. I just got off of Gym Rat. I'm like fired up. with all this announcement from Richard, everybody is just chomping at the bit. Let's go. So I'm going to pump you up. I'm going to get you excited, fired up, remind you why you're here, and continue to keep things positive. Jockey Clocky, good to see you. Don't even know what to say. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in the last stream. Enchanted Brave. I love that name. Great stream with Crypto Rat. Yeah, Jim Rat Crypto. To remember the ability to dream. Let's go. Let's go. Humberto Gonzalez. Blessings to all the family from sunny Miami. It is so great. Friends and people across the world joining together in community to decree value. That's what we're doing. And to have someone that's put in the work and the effort for the last 2 years to fork Ethereum, to create innovation upon innovation and give us, the tracks to run on, folks. I'm so excited about it. Hexforce One. Hey, Matt, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Antonio L. We're ready. Let's get ready to rumble. We're ready to rumble. That's right. Facing Reality is back again. Thanks for all your support and help in all of these things. And I know it's late there for you, but you know what? You're a night owl. You can handle this stuff. Maybe you'll sleep tonight. Maybe you won't. Folks, we just got to give a half of a child's gummy to Brandon to get him to sleep. Pulse Pilgrim, a big weekend coming. It's going to be so exciting. I literally spring in your step. 15th, you know what? It could be. You know, how funny is that? Just a year off, right? We thought it was May 15th of last year, and it's going to be May 15th of this year. Maybe. Gabe, what's everyone preferred pick? Why PLS or PLSX? Well, you probably know where I stand. I'm a PLSX guy. Why? In the short run, in the next 6 to 12 months, PLSX, because what is happening with Ethereum? Ethereum's fees are so out of control that it's become unusable for normal people, right? Do you want to buy something and pay $50 to buy $50 worth of something? So retail investors are priced out. Now, big whales, they don't care about the price. But the regular people, this is a made up, right? This is a grassroots movement, a community of people. It's like, it's unusable. To have something that has your copies on it and has low fees at exactly the right time when Bitcoin and Ethereum are unusable, get ready, folks. Every single transaction that happens on PulseX, right? Every transaction has a little bit that buys PulseX and burns it. That's amazing. That is what's going to drive that thing. So I'm very, very bullish on PulseX, but that doesn't mean Pulse. I mean, think about Pulse. You have to have Pulse PLS in order to do transactions. It's the Ethereum of the Pulsechain, right? You have to do it. It's the gas fee. That in and of itself is enormous. And so people that don't have any Pulse because they didn't have any sacrifice, they're going to have to market buy it. And boy, I'll tell you what, that's a lot of buy pressure too. So get ready, folks. This is going to be the most exciting thing. I can't wait to be on stream with my friends, Brandon from Rags to Riches and Crypto Panda, eat some popcorn and just have a great time. I even thought about getting a top hat, man. Just old school. I missed the whole top hat wearing, era. And it's like, I want to do anything I can to scream from the rooftops how important and how significant this is. Folks, I mean, think about this. I met a guy who was an ETH whale. Well, in fact, he still is an ETH whale. And he got into the original ICO of Ethereum. And he told me a story about how he had met a guy who met Vitalik. And to think about, wow, could you really get into that? Well, if you think about those days and it went up to 4,000, this is that kind of moment again, because it's so needed. Product market fit is something that Richard talks about a lot. Well, what does that really mean? Well, you have to solve a problem. Guess what? The Pulse chain is solving an enormous problem. High gas fees, period. I can't do transactions. I don't have the money to do it, and it doesn't feel right for me to do it. Hey, solving that problem? Will it be solved forever? No, but folks, this is your opportunity, Well, what if the gas fees go up in the future? Well, you'll be rich and gas fees won't matter. That's what'll happen. Gabe, what's up, man? Thanks so much. That's my preferred pick. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about anything tonight. And I'm going to go for probably 45 minutes here till about 7:45 Central Time. And I'm just excited. That's it. I'm just excited. And I'm like, I got some time and I want to be with friends. And I want you guys to just be so expectant that this is the beginning of something great for you. This is about as consolidated and, concentrated hope that there is. And folks, you can't put your hope in money because money's just a tool. But here's the thing. life change, thinking differently about your circumstances. What am I supposed to be doing? What do I do with abundance? How does that impact my family and people around me? You need to be at your best because you're going to be tested with these things. But, folks, here's the thing, this is the opportunity that you've been looking for. And I mean that in the sense of, what, it gives you a vision, it gives you hope and a future to think differently. And I would say, just like what Jim Rat Crypto was saying, he's like, hey, money, I don't find it in money, I don't find it in drugs, I don't find it in all those other things. And I'm not saying that you're going to find it in Pulse or Pulse X, but I will say this: you've been created for a reason. You're not an accident. And you got work to do, folks. Let's get to work. Hello, hello. And the work we have to do is to hold, right? To hold and relax. Mark Hanretta, Hanretta. Make no mistake, history is about to be made. Don't underestimate Pulse and Pulse X will perform in the short and long term. Well, think about this. We're seeing it, perfect timing, right? All the meme coin craze shows that people are really hungry to get into stuff. Well, this goes live. Where are you going to put your money? In, like, Pepe token? There'll be people who do, but then you're going to hear about this new thing. You're like, whoa, hold on. This is a layer one. It's got all these other things with it. Hold on. What's this all about? I've got my tokens there. I'm telling you what, folks, this is like divinely appointed, because I can't imagine a scenario that is better to have Ethereum and Bitcoin to be so congested. And then, oh, yeah, we got a solution for that, and it's coming inside of 7 days. Get ready, folks. This is a big deal. I've been waiting for this for 2 years, folks. I'm like, let's go. Peso, dude, less than 7 days means I take off work, get diapers, and loads of hot pockets. You're like, yeah, man, I just got to, like, be glued to the screen. Yeah. I'd recommend the Depends versus the children's diapers. Texan Tailgate, hope you're feeling better for us. Good to see you. Let's go. I'm ready. All right, Moonwell, you're ready. So we're talking inside of 7 days. Let's hope it's less than that. But you know what? We waited this long. Let's enjoy it together. And you know what? What fun is it if you can't have fun with other people? It's like, what's the point of being rich if you don't have people to play with, right? Can Moonwell come out and play? Well, if nobody can come out and play, it's kind of lonely at the top. Let's enjoy this stuff. What is going on? Appreciate you. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but thanks so much. Appreciate it. My PC wouldn't even let me in. You must be overloading YouTube. No, not true. Not true. We set a record. We had 300 people in. So I'd ask you to do this. Hey, if you know people that want to get pumped up, here's some information. Look at some of these things and be encouraged. Go ahead and retweet this out there on the YouTubes and on Twitter, and let's share this stuff out, folks. Let's celebrate together. Texan OG day one. So revealed that it is finally here. Relieved. So relieved that it's finally here. An amazing community of people to celebrate with. There you go. And that's what we're doing here. Celebration time. Come on. No reason to pick one or the other when you have both. There you go. Right. And some people don't have both. They got into Pulse X. They're like, what about Pulsechain? Yeah, folks, I think chilling is important. And the other thing is, if you're not some sophisticated person and you got, basically money to burn, ratio trading's not where it's at. You're going to be tempted. Don't be tempted to push buttons. Be like old man Crypto Heartbeat and do nothing. Have some popcorn. Enjoy the streams. Just encourage people. Retweet stuff. Just be supportive, member. Because here's the thing. This is just the beginning of something that is life-changing. And it's going to be so consequential because of what's happening in the world, right? We're dealing with a crisis era. And to think that the money is digitizing. Think about this. Remember when the music went digital? Do you remember when the TV went digital? Do you remember when the radio went digital? Now the money's going digital. And there's going to be an alternative to the central bank digital currencies. We are going to starve the war machine. We're going to return this thing to popular control. We're going to reboot the damn system. Let's go. Thank you, Richard Hart. All Hex working 67, T-minus 17 days are left. We're a go flight. Liberty or death, days away. Hours, maybe? Soon, when it's ready. I'm cool with whatever Richard Hart decides because I have no choice. That is exactly the truth. Realistic expectations. But, folks, we are in this to win it. In it to win it. Pump it up. Moonwhale says, JB, great vision, great things to come. I wouldn't be surprised if Richard Hart's secretly watching. You know what would be great is if we had a stream from Richard Hart. Wouldn't that be so awesome? And just to the faithful, right? He's like, hey, I just want to jump on here and just chat with you guys, just share with you what's going on. I think we're going to see a stream. I think we will see a stream here when everything, when we launched a Texan token and all the airdrop stuff and everything, it was pretty tense. So you have to kind of get over that initial, like, all right, did we get everything? Did we get everything? Okay, we're good. He'll probably do BitBoy show and then we'll see him, right? That's the cool thing. And this new Richard, who's all about vision and is all about, and it's not, I hope it's not inauthentic humility. No, just be yourself. You continue to share the value that you've always shared. Tell us the truth, be yourself, and let's go. Let's go. There's a reason that you understood and passed the IQ test with Richard Hart. He's an innovator, folks. He's an innovator. And this is a really special time. This isn't just, oh, yeah, we're forking a layer one. No, no, no. We're not just taking Polygon and making a copy. This is different, right? This is the B-52 bomber of all crypto, folks. This is Ethereum 2.0. It's a big deal. Spaniard, here we go. Here we go. Just got new coffee. There you go. Keep yourself up at night. Let's go. Wall 77. Hello, Heartbeat. Good to see you. Andrew Harlan released publicly. Yeah. So that's exactly true. That's a really good point. If you look at this tweet, he finally has given us, something that's very, very tangible. 37 minutes ago, he said mainnet are estimated to launch publicly in less than 7 days. You see that, folks? I'm going to make that as big as I possibly can. 7 days, less than 7 days. I think it actually, will be less than 7 days, because he's kind of, what should I say? He's sandbagging a little bit because he doesn't want to be wrong. And so as we look at what's been happening with Brett, one of the developers and all this stuff, and we see what's happening on, it's so good. It's so good. I'm just like beside myself. This is fantastic, folks. Moonwhale, come on, Richard Hart, say hello. Crypto Heartbeat has been a number one faithful. Yeah, I doubt that he's watching, but I just love the fact that, you know what? This is what it's all about. We're taking responsibility for the thing that we own, right? I don't need Richard Hart to give me any accolades. No, we're in this together. I understand that he's concerned about us in addition to himself, and I'm concerned about you in addition to myself. We win together. Care about other people. Don't just try to step on people's heads, and we win. That's the whole story here, folks. This is the first time in human history where financial power and political power, or better said, financial power and military power, have been separated. In the past, you'd win a war, you'd take all the gold, you'd kill the people, and you'd rewrite the rules in your favor. This is the first time where you have this little peaceful revolution where the money's going to separate itself from the war machine. Folks, this is returning it to popular control. This is a transfer of all transfers. What is your role? Why are you in this? Why are you going to be in abundance? There's work for you to do. It's so exciting. Let's go. Let's go. But you got to get your house in order. Moonrunner, what's going on? Hey, all, it's exciting. Fast Abdul. Yeah, it's Fast Abdul. What's going on? Remember, everyone, shooting guns in the air is very dangerous. Okay, that's a legit comment right there. Just to like a little public service announcement, just to think people are so excited they just go shoot guns in the air. What is going on? Guns up, sun's up, guns up. Hexagon, what up, y'all? Juicy copies inbound. That's right. The buy one, get one free is coming true. Coming soon. Peso dude, what's going on? Sandy B, the dude's here. What's going on? It's finally happening. It is finally happening. We got official word from Richard Hart. Less than 7 days. I think it's going to be amazing, right? I think we're going to see 7 days would put us literally May 17th, which would be next Wednesday. But I think this whole May 15th thing, and you think about the news cycle, that's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's going to be key time to hear from Richard on these shows. This weekend, probably, I would love to see the bridges open on Wednesday, but it'd be really nice to have, things open for us that have PLS and PLSX pre-bridge to see those things happen, because that's going to be the official thing for us, the faithful that have been here since the beginning. We're going to be like, okay, this is the real launch. It's not when bridges open, even though we know that's where the value comes rushing in. But it's just there's going to be so much to talk about, so much to celebrate, and it's a relief, right? The number one thing I'm excited about is my wife not saying to me, "Is that thing launched yet?" And I can say, "Yes, it finally launched after 2 years." You have no idea how many times my wife has asked me. She's like, So you're excited about V3 testnet? I'm like, yes, I'm so excited about V3 testnet. Well, now we actually have the value, folks, and it's the perfect time. What a perfect time. Bitcoin with all the stuff with the BRC20s and the ordinals just clogging up Bitcoin. And that whole network it's just falling apart. The spaghetti code is busting at the seams. And then you've got the high gas fees of Ethereum. You can't do a transaction. It's unusable. In comes the Pulsechain at the right time to solve the problems, folks. Bringing value. That's what Richard knows how to do. Your thoughts on the Democrats ramping up their attacks on crypto with the new tax plan. Also, we all need to use our new abundance to come through and fight back to protest crypto. Well, what happens when people have resources? They can influence politics, right? There's going to be these attacks. They do not want you to have sovereign control of your money. They want to control you. This is Pandora's box. It's open. It was open a long time ago, and they're going to understand and see this stuff. But folks, you know what? It's not all lost. This is provision for us in a crisis era, and I think it's for a reason. You're going to see the greatest transfer of wealth. You watch. Amazing. And we're going to see crisis when it comes to the US dollar. We're going to see all of these people clamping down. Then we're going to see crisis again. And they're going to say, all right, you got to have our government wallet if you want your stimulus money. And oh, yeah, that comes with a CBDC and it comes with a social credit score. And then, oh, yeah, we can, the people that we consider to be oppressed will get more money. You'll get less money or whatever. Right. And they're going to play it like they've been playing it, because this is all about redistributing wealth. And we're like, no, we're creating our own wealth. What do you mean you're using your own money? Yep, we decreed it ourselves. And that's what I love about Texas. Texas is updating its Bill of Rights. This is a constitutional amendment that's up in front of the State House that is all about basically saying you have the right to transact in whatever currency you desire, including crypto. And that's a big game changer. They're also starting a gold-backed stable coin in Texas. And that's some big stuff for us, folks. You imagine that stuff comes into crypto, that kind of liquidity. Folks, there's good things. In all of this, there's provision where there is vision. And Richard Hart's got the vision, folks. So that's what I think about that. Spaniard, Hexo is going to do a 24-hour stream. Get on that too. Absolutely. That'll be fun to watch. I can't do that, man. I'm too old and I just can't. I mean, I could do probably a 4-hour stream, but nope, can't do the 24-hour. Graph Rider 7777777. This is the best community in crypto, hands down. It's by far the most engaged. And you know why I think it is? It's because the people like Hexo and RG3 and Kinetics and Maddie and Crypto Coffee and all these people from the beginning were regular people. They weren't a bunch of hedge fund guys. They weren't a bunch of rich kids. They were regular folks. They were in the military. They're people that were just salt of the earth. And they said, you know what? We deserve a shot. To me, this is like the underdog winning. And I love a good underdog story. And I think that that's what resonates with you. Richard Hart's a blue collar kid, man. And he made it. And it's like gives us hope for everyone else. Like, do you mean regular people? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The meek will inherit the earth. Let's go. How can it get any better? You live stream along with the two rags to riches brothers. Yeah, we'll get Crypto Panda and all that. Once it goes live here, we'll get on the stream and we're going to do something sizable. The hexiest man in the world, man. A big hello from sunny Del Mar, San Diego. Looking forward to Ocean at the moment. Watching one of my favorites. It is so good to see you, Hexy man. It is so great to see you. This is our time. And thanks for all that you do in the community and how you encourage people and how you, especially offline, take care of people. You're a good man. And I just appreciate real people like the hexiest man in the world. Amen. All grace goes to God. There you go, brother. Pineapple Love's here. Woohoo. Just read the Twitter. Excitement is in the air. Finally, 2 years. Hold on a second. Okay. I don't know if this is seismic activity or not. Hang on a second. I gotta hang on 1 second. I apologize.
He's not only the CEO, he's the CFO, the CIO, the CMO, the CTO. He's the supreme, my done told you. He's the mayor of Sassy City, the commander of couch cushion maintenance. In the islands, he's known as Kinkamaya Maya. He's my ace in the hole, my kid Creole, my Bob doll. He's not internationally known, but he's known to rock the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentle, ginger, giant, genius, and the professor of potent pontification, Brandon from Rags to Riches.
Folks, that seismic activity is the man himself. What's up, Rags?
What's up, dude?
Dude, this is so exciting. I'm just jumping out of my skin, man. We got a timeline out of Richard Hart finally. Less than 7 days. What do you think about that?
Well, this is what everybody's going to be doing, so I'm just going to do it. I told you so. May 15th. May
That's right.
15th.
In your
No, I'm just kidding.
face.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, it's cool. It's the beginning. Let's go. Let's tear it up.
Cool. Dude, you gotta. Do you celebrate anything? Like, be like, come on, dude. And do you have any cups? Like, be a civilized human, dude.
Man, I had too many bottles and I had cups and I had to wash them. Now I'll just do this. And it lasts me like 2-3 days, man. It's the best.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. We are rolling, man. This is so great. Man, I'll tell you what. Hey, thanks, Clint Trons. I appreciate it. Did you catch the Jim Rat Crypto, dude? He had me on.
Dude, so I was in Walmart, okay?
Right.
My weekly Walmart pilgrimage, and I heard you guys going deep, man. You were talking I'm like, Jim Rat, I haven't heard him like go down those roads. Good for him. It was
That's what he wanted to do. It's what he wanted to do. He reached out to me. Dude, so Brandon, there's 102 people here. As soon as you came in, everybody came in. So I'm excited. Your beard that red in real life? That's a good question.
I don't know. Is it, Matt?
I think so. I think so.
It's about that red.
Yeah.
And
that's true differentiation right there, folks. So what do you think? Okay, let's pull these back up because I want your take on this because you're a reasonable person. The pulsex.com and pulsechain.com mainnet are estimated to launch publicly in less than 7 days. Last time he said something about dates was a year ago, which was May 15th. I think he's sandbagging a little bit here, giving himself a little extra time with the 7 days. And I know that the news cycle is going to come out next week, starting on Monday, and he'll probably be doing some things publicly. Do you think it is, he's sandbagging here a little bit?
So if we go back in time and we remember that first almost launch, one of the things that he actually wanted to do for everybody was launch on a payday or right before a payday. So I made this comment in the Rags to Riches 2.0 chat. A lot of people aren't in there. If you want to get in there, you'll have to figure out how. But I made the point that it could be May 15th. I said this a while back because it would fall on a payday. So I think that's one. The other thing is there's got to be some sort of significance in terms of allowing people to know in order to potentially pump the price of Hex. Now, why would we want to pump the price of Hex? The question then becomes, if Hex has more buying power, how is that going to translate over to Pulsechain? Is Hex going to be used to buy up other assets? And if we pump it now, then it can have heavier buying power in the future in 5 or 7 days here. This is something that I'm going to have to kind of think of because that's like the first thing that popped in my head. There's got to be a reason for this. So 7 days is a long time. He said within 7 days.
Yeah. I think he is sandbagging because he doesn't want to get caught. He's leaving some room, and I would do the same thing. I would leave some room for maybe some things that you don't exactly know how they're going to go. But I think that's a lot of lead time.
Yes.
You remember when he said before, he's like, I'm not going to give you a bunch of lead time because I don't want people front running things. But what's your take on that? I mean, do you think
he said 48 hours before? Yeah. That's what he said before. So 48 hours. I'm very surprised that we're getting this amount of time. There's got to be a reason for it, and I don't know that reason yet. But I'm going to kind of take a look and see what other folks are saying too, and maybe we can think about it and figure it out. Maybe it could be this weekend. I said that probably this weekend it should be done. Everything should be done. So maybe 7 days is the fake out, and it's really in 24 or 48 hours.
Okay, I've got a legitimate question that I don't have
Mhm.
the answer to, and I would love for your take on this. So you know how we talk about the fork, right? And
Mhm.
like we've talked snapshots in the past for test nets. Honestly, I don't know the answer to this.
Yes.
If someone buys Hex right now
Yep.
or Texan or buys something that is an ERC20, is there any guarantee that it's going to be copied over? Like what is the cutoff? Is there a
This
cutoff?
I have the answer.
You do.
I have the answer.
Come on.
And um this comes directly from Brett. So this is not there is no snapshot. This is a hard fork.
Okay.
Okay. So
But
judging
doesn't it
by
have to sync up or doesn't have to sync up? You just pick it up and it is what it is.
find the block plus one. That's the
Okay.
you find the
So
fork
literally
block and then
everything's
go.
copied there.
Yeah, it's copied from that point.
Okay.
So it hasn't been done in the past. It's
Okay.
going to be a hard fork. So that's your answer. So anything that you buy up until that point where they hard fork sometime in the next 7 days, it's going to fork and then you'll miss your opportunity. So you need to get into the assets you want copies of. Don't sandbag it because you could get in trouble there.
Well, and what's really cool is if that's true, which I believe you is it makes sense, right? You had to copy something before in order to do testing because you're acting as if that's live. Now we're saying no +1, which makes a lot of sense. Then anything that happens before it truly goes into that next block, you get copies of.
Yeah,
And
they
that
use
to me is exciting.
snapshots. They use
Yeah.
snapshots with the test nets, but this is going to be a hard fork.
Well, folks, that is so great. So this buy one get one free offer is continuing until the hard fork.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. You think things are going to pump? I got a feeling they
They're
might.
already pumping. Yeah, tell you what, dude. So did you see that guy that got like the absolute bottom of Texan
Yes.
probably about 2 or 3 hours ago?
Yeah. Wasn't it like a $16,000 buy?
Yeah, he nailed it. I said,
Wow.
so maybe that guy knows something we don't,
Yeah.
So good for him, man. Good for him.
That's
Or
awesome.
her, for
Or
those of
her.
you out there who are gonna,
Yeah. I look at the demographics in YouTube Studio, and
98%
there may be
male.
one. Yeah, there's like 2 women in all of
Yeah.
crypto. It's Samantha and Hexy Quinn.
Yeah.
Basically. But obviously there's more. But well, we got a ton of people in the chat. I wanted to say hello. You know, I like to get through all of these things and say hello to folks, but oh, boom. I'm getting notifications. Here we go. Facing Reality's been so supportive and been in everything. He's just everywhere, and I know he's excited. You want to give him the dab, dude?
Oh, Facing
Oh,
Reality, my man.
boom,
So,
that's right.
all right, guys, I need to say this. Folks. You have got to set your expectations properly here.
Yeah.
If you were a person who was betting on Hex running as soon as Pulsechain launch date was announced, if you were a person that's a trader, this is the perfect setup for you. Okay. Because Richard said, hey, this is going to happen. You buy in and you wait. People will sell the news. I'm telling you right now, guys. So just know that in the grand scheme of things, this is really cool right now, but this isn't going to make or break you. So don't do anything dumb with your money.
Yeah.
All right. Just be very, very careful and set your expectations. There are people, they're day traders, and they're going to trade the heck out of this, and they're going to dump it too. So,
well, buy the
just
rumor, sell
be
the news,
careful.
right? This is the rumor.
Yes, this is the rumor, and the news is Pulsechain. So this is what we've all been talking about. This is what we've been speculating about. I think phase 1, we are now starting to see all of these assets pump. That is happening. So that has been confirmed now. So then phase 2 is what happens. Really, the question becomes what happens to the Ethereum Hex? And I would think Ethereum Hex. I would think Hedron. I would think of the Acosa. I would think the Watsa stakes. I think people could sell those. I think that there could be a mass sell-off on Ethereum. But I've always said that if there is a mass sell-off on the Ethereum side with any of these assets, that means there's opportunity on the Ethereum side too. So keep that in mind, guys.
No, totally. That's really good alpha there. I appreciate that, Rags. Don't Panic says, I wonder if the documentary crew is filming the launch ad of the movie. The answer is negative, Ghost Rider on that one. Movie's done. However, I've heard kind of some rumors that there may be potential follow-ups to that. So there's a possibility, but we shall see. But yeah, I think they're looking for a distributor and all of that stuff. Been over 2 years, Hexagon says. many, many more years to come. And that's a big thing. This is just the beginning of it.
Yes.
And you're in early. And you said for so many times, you're like, when's the best time to get into a project? What's the best time to get into a stock? What's the best time to get into anything?
Day one, man, or before
Yep.
pre-launch. And if you didn't get in pre-launch, you're going to get in day one, and it's going to be great. I mean, this is just a perfect setup. I mean, think about this. There are how many millions of users in SHIB, for example?
Yeah.
And you're probably one of less than 100,000 people that know about a massive layer 2 fork of Ethereum, or layer 1 fork rather of Ethereum. And it solves so many problems, Matt. I was thinking about this. Think about all these problems that are happening with Bitcoin. Think about the gas fees, and it's all coming to a head right now. And we're in a bear market.
Yeah.
It's like, it's going to make us shine in a bull market. Can you imagine what the fees are going to be in a bull market on Ethereum?
Yeah.
It's going to cost like $500 or $600 for a damn swap on Uniswap, man. And I'm not kidding. In some cases, it could cost, I would say it would probably cost $300 to $500.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We didn't factor this in. Remember like 2 years ago when we were making these price predictions for Pulse and PulseX, and I thought about it. I was like, well, if it could do it 10,000x, I kept it really simple. I thought, you know what? If they reached $1 in 2 to 5 years, that's crazy, right? Pulse and PulseX at $1 a piece. And when I look at this, I never factored in. I mean, I knew that the GOE was high, but you're right. We're in the bear market, this meme coin mania. The prices are so high. Where does this go when it's actually the bull run? And they haven't had sharding put in. They don't have any way to combat these fees. Do you know how many users they won't have any choice but to come over to the Pulsechain?
It's now a rich man's game. I mean, you're gambling with the nice tables in the back now with all the people that have the huge stacks. They pushed all the little guy out. So here's the big elephant in the room with Ethereum and Bitcoin is it's broken and nobody's talking about it. But they have to start talking about it when the market kicks back up, because nobody's going to be able to participate, like no regular folks. So it's broken, and it's broken bad, and you're going to start to see them kind of, I guess they're going to try to shape some narrative about it. I don't know, because it is what it is, man. But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Temtem says, is a hard fork, could it have already happened? The answer is no. It could not have already happened. We're still in testnet. And what Brandon just said, I think, is really, really helpful. It's just basically the block plus one, and we start with the new block, and everything's there. So that's good news. That's good news.
Yeah, the fork has not happened. I would not do anything different until Pulsechain has announced that it has been forked.
Yeah.
Okay. So no.
Well, and this is the opportunity. It is by the rumor. This is the rumor, and I think that's what we're probably seeing. Look at this. This is so great. A guy sold 444,000, then saw Richard Hart tweet and bought it right back a couple minutes later. How crazy is that?
Well, that's smart, man. I mean, think about that. He's going to have 440,000, and then Hex might do a 2 or 3x before Pulsechain launches. I mean, that's a good ROI, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the type of stuff that we're dealing with here. I'm super interested to see what happens to the Ethereum side.
Yeah.
I think it's actually in everybody's best interest to try to keep some sort of parity on the Ethereum side.
Yeah.
Because that just makes everybody so much happier. And I don't know if Richard would have any way to do that.
He might have a couple of dollars to do that with. So Silicon Valley Syndicate says this. Good to have you here. If you go back to April 15th to 20th, you said you were running a testnet privately and running an AMM bot. Is it possible the fork has already happened, that they're running the AMM bot privately before releasing it publicly? I don't think so, because they've got to pick up at the next block. So what are your thoughts on that?
No, I don't think so. There's some places that you can monitor to see whether or not this has happened, but it's going to be very, very difficult to figure out. What you might see is this hard fork. And as soon as you see the fork, you go in and you see we might not see the AMM bot go and harvest everything from Uniswap and SushiSwap and all these places. So they're going to do all that first. They might bridge in all that DAI that they have. If Pulse ramp is open, or if it's not open, I don't know what's going to happen. But here's what I do know. I think that we're not going to know when the exact time that the fork happens.
Yeah.
I think we will know a little bit after that, because there's some stuff that needs to be done in between. So,
yep. Wow, that's helpful. That's all.
Yeah.
Been in since May of 2021. Finally, everything coming together. This is life changing and a game changing crypto. Redemption just takes time, doesn't it, Brandon? Because I remember people so excited in the top of the bull run, buying Hex at 40 cents, and and they felt so bad, and we went down to that bottom and all the difficulty there. Redemption, man, right? You've always said it. Just hold and just stick around and don't nuke yourself. And you only lose when you sell, right?
Guys, you're going to learn so much. All of you guys, congratulations, man. You won't hear me congratulate you often.
Yep.
But this was a rough bear market. This was extremely difficult, man. I would say for me, the worst part of the bear market was maybe 2 or 3 months ago when the SEC was talking all that stuff and just crazy stuff happening, man. But congratulations. If you lived through this, there probably won't be many bear markets that ever compare to this. It's possible not in our lifetime. So now you will go through the whole process of having nothing but accumulating, having faith, keeping your eye on the prize, being on an island all by yourself because your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad call you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to be buying them Thanksgiving dinner and they're going to be sitting in your mansion here, hopefully in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so it's a huge lesson learned, guys. Delay your gratification. You got to understand the cycles in crypto and it will pay off, but you got to have patience. And that's the hardest thing to do. And it's free, but it's the hardest thing to do.
Well, it's the story of Joseph, right? You are Joseph. You're the one who literally got, basically thrown in a hole by your brothers and faked your death and sold you into slavery. And then when the famine came, he had stored up ahead of time. And here you are. I really, truly believe that that's going to be the factor. Richard talked about how, these crazy loon birds are going to be the ones that own everything. Well, what's the reason for that? Because I don't think anything's by mistake. So if you're going to have an abundance and resources in this next run, what happens when your brothers and sisters and aunt and uncle and all those people don't have anything? It might not just be, Thanksgiving dinner. You're going to have to be somebody that is providing and helping. And to me, that's actually not a bad thing because it builds community, it builds trust. And we're so far away from the family unit being together. And it's, unfortunately, it has to come through crisis and hard times, but there's joy in that. There's learning in that. But here's the thing, folks. People are going to look to you, right? And if you can keep from, nuking yourself, I just look back at these OG Hexicans and I go, what an amazing story. But then there are also people that, had real difficulty when they ran into all those resources. So to me, keep money in its correct place. It is just a tool. Use that tool wisely and learn how to use that tool wisely. But Rags, you've been consistently giving people, realistic expectations, but also, hey, relax and do not nuke your account. Don't push buttons for no reason.
Guys, this is what I have to say right now. This is important. All right. So Matt, I think I said this about something else earlier, but guys, when Pulsechain launches, you're at the starting line.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Guys, we're still in a bear market.
Yep.
You can DCA. You can continue to pick up those long hours at work. You can grab that stuff and put it in, dump it in now. That's what I would do. That's financial opinion, not financial advice. But guys, don't just stop now that Pulsechain and PulseX is launched.
Yep.
You got to get in now because at some point in the next couple of years, it's going to take off, and you're gonna feel really bad. So keep grinding hard, keep sticking to your plan, keep getting in the market, and you're going to win. You're going to win, and it's awesome.
You and I have talked to some pretty big whales in the Hex community.
Oh yeah,
and they've said so many times, it was so hard watching things run so hard and realizing, I want to buy a truck, I need another truck, and then you do it, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna sell some Hex, I'm gonna buy a truck, and he's like, do you realize this truck I bought for $50,000 actually cost me $500,000 because I didn't wait?
Exactly, which is the same thing. I say these side hustles, guys. If you're working 30 hours a week, go pick up DoorDash, because that $50 to $80 or maybe $100 that you make in that night, maybe that same money that if you take that and you put it into this, that $50 turns into 50,000. So you're really door dashing for 50,000 a night or 10,000 a night or 8,000 a night.
Isn't that crazy? So, yeah, you're absolutely right. That could be the case. Yeah. I mean, you think about that happen with Hex. Kevin, this is funny. The question is this true or not? I have 200,000 in Pulsechain SAC. Is that going to be good? You know the answer to that.
Chump change. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the head Viking will lead us to Valhalla. Are you the head Viking? Is that who you
Oh,
are?
I got the genes. That's for
Yeah, you
damn sure.
do.
I'm tall and gingery, so maybe.
That's right. Hey, Hex is skyrocketing. Basic Dude says we're up over 8 cents. Good Lord.
All right. So this is another point that I made pre. And guys, I want to say this. We have some time here. I've got 2 videos that go over everything. Okay.
Yep.
One is on my live tab on YouTube, and the other one is on my regular video tab. If you go to my YouTube at R2R on YouTube, it goes over everything that we're talking about right now. It goes over potential price. It goes over what you should do with your copies, this and that, it's etc. So go check it out. But Matt, I will say this. Hex, here's what's crazy about Hex. Hex can do things that people don't realize. And that's because the liquidity is pretty low. It's actually similar liquidity on V3 that meme coin Pepe was. Now, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because Pepe ran really, really hard because there was a lot of buy pressure. Hex can run 5 times as hard as that because of the community that we already have money. So you think we're at like 5, 6, 7, 8 cents now, and you wake up tomorrow, we're at 16 cents. And you wake up the next day, we're at 26 cents. Guys, we can run hard, extremely hard. This can move fast. Everybody's been waiting for this. So it's exciting. But again, keep your eye on the prize. Stick to your plan. Don't do anything crazy. Don't nuke yourself. Don't Vegas this thing. Stick to the plan. You're almost at the starting line. Pulsechain launches starting line.
That's really, really good. That's really good commentary.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. So we're planning on doing a stream with Crypto Panda, and we've been talking about it for so darn long, and we want to do it. So here's the question. How long is that stream going to be? I know some people are going to do some 24-hour streams. I got no interest in that. I'd love to have some of the people that kind of helped us along in this and put out the link and have people kind of come in and say hello and that type of thing. What do you think? How long should we do that stream for?
I don't know, man. I mean, we could just have it going. We just have it going all day. Just keep it running. Just have people come in and out. There's a lot of YouTubers that are going to be doing that. I've been invited to a lot of streams, so I'll be in and out. So between the two of us, we can keep it running. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I think it'd just be cool to have people stop in. So folks, be prepared for that. So when you see the popcorn stream with Crypto Panda and Rags, and that'll be, once we see the fork and we see things, I think it'll be in that window of that 48 hours. We will start up a stream, and we just want to literally celebrate with you. And Rags is going to tell you every time, hey man, it's the starting line. It's the starting line. That's true. But I'm going to celebrate with you just because, it's like exhaling. It's like we've been holding our breath for 2 years. And so, and there's so many things, so many people. Like my neighbor would make fun of me. My wife's like, really? When is this ever going to launch? Is it ever going to do it? And all these people. And it's like, all right, we will see. We will see. And so there's a lot of redemption in this announcement from Richard Hart. So folks, if you're late to the game and you didn't hear this, Richard Hart posted about an hour ago that there's estimated launch of mainnet publicly in less than 7 days. And I think there's pretty good chance that it's going to happen, obviously, well under 7 days. But we're talking about next week, right? So this is the beginning of next week is when all the excitement happens. I really hope that we see him on BitBoy, and we see him, taking the rounds and doing some victory laps on this. Don't you think Richard is going to the message has got to be Ethereum's unusable. Like, come on over. We got cheap fees and it's the same coins. All your coins are there. It's like the perfect storm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to. I'm not the type of person that I don't like to hype things up as much. I like to just stay grounded. But I'm going to say this, man. Like I said, dude, all that news about the BRC20s, okay? All this news about Ethereum and Ethereum's fees are just they've been at least $60, $50 to $80 to do a swap for the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we're at the bottom of a bear. I'm like, come on, man. So all the stars are aligning for Pulsechain.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And guess what, guys? It's ETH 2.0. He waited for it.
Right.
And so it's pretty much the same damn thing.
Yep.
And all the updates that get pushed to Ethereum are going to be pushed to Pulsechain. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go somewhere else with cheaper fees? Now it's going to take a little bit for these companies to adopt on Pulsechain, but I think eventually they're going to see, especially as time goes on and liquidity infrastructure gets better in between chains.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you go to Pulsechain to transact if you can do the same things?
Yep.
So it's awesome. Perfect timing.
Vibe Refinance CEO, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. You know what? It kind of dawned on me. You know how people are, I think it's going to force a lot of projects that we didn't think were going to create front ends to create front ends. I hadn't really thought about this as all of those. You're like, well, we don't know if people are going to support this. You're going to have no choice because your users are going to need something that they can transact on. And folks, that's a big, big deal. Is that we're going to see, especially if all the users are there, they're not going to care about, Richard Hart and his watches. They're going to care about users and opportunity and value. And if the users are there, I mean, that's what meme coins are doing. Everybody follows the herd. And so I think what we're going to see is many, many more people. Here's a big question.
Yeah.
You think USDC will support Pulsechain at some point in time?
Some point, yeah.
Yeah.
I think at some point. Now, that's difficult. Here's why. You're going to need centralized exchanges to support Pulsechain first, and then USDC comes flooding in. Now, why is that? It's because that's how USDC works. They basically loan out these tokens, all right, at an interest rate so centralized exchanges can use them for liquidity.
Yep.
So once sexes support Pulsechain, then Circle will support Pulsechain. Now,
did you say sexes?
Yeah, CEXs.
Oh, okay. Just making sure, keeping you honest here.
CEXs. So once that happens, then that's cool. Now, here's the other thing, though, that Pulse ramp. That's huge because we've seen with other chains where Circle can get locked up in that bridge contract, and then a version is issued on Pulsechain to be able to use on Pulsechain. So that's going to happen. They're not going to invalidate those. Okay, so because they're not copies, they're actual value. They're issuing 1-to-1.
Okay,
so we will have USDC wrapped some form of USDC, I think, pretty quick.
Okay, awesome. 50 Cal Pulse says, do you predict Texan to be bigger on Pulse than ETH or about the same and stay equal? I don't know if you and I have the same opinion on this. What's yours?
So just for legal purposes, I want to make sure that I'm careful with my words here. But guys, I'll say this. Matt and I, from the start, and mostly Matt, and I kind of parrot what he says because I agree with him. This is the unsettled land that we've talked about this entire time. Pulsechain is that fabric that we get to go and we get to turn it into something. Pulsechain is home for Texan. All right. I want to say that again. Pulsechain is home for Texan. Yep. So I hope that with the bridge and with liquidity infrastructure happening, in the coming years, the prices will be the same. And I think arbitrage wise, bots and things like that, cross-chain liquidity, it will eventually. I don't know if it will be right away, but I would imagine Texan looks pretty good on Pulsechain. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think you're right. When you say it's the home, we see a future where this vertically aligned ecosystem is the only place you can transact privately. And I believe that Richard's going to defend freedom of speech and freedom of movement and freedom to transact and privacy. And we got to stick with that. And so to me, the future and the long-term home of the Texan token will be on Pulsechain, but it's for many, many more reasons than just the token itself. The other thing I know to be true is there's so many friends that we have that have significant bags of Pulse and Pulse X, and the opportunities for liquidity providing, especially in the early days. So I think liquidity is going to be thick, and that'll be a good thing. And then we're bonded with pairs. And what's going to happen to Pulse and Pulse X? What do you hope happens? It's going to go up. Well, we'll see what happens, and that's the thing. We do have to, as founders, have to be cautious that we're not making price predictions. Especially on a token that we founded. We just say, do your own research. We're focused on helping the Texas nationalist movement tokenize and then folks, this is the crazy thing. I'm having a call tomorrow, Brandon, with a person that represents 17 independence movements.
Yeah.
17 tomorrow. And what's so exciting about that is, folks, this is a track record and all of this stuff plays in together, and we don't know how all these synergies will work, but it's very, very exciting time. And boy, we've been anticipating this for a long time. So I'm excited. I'm going to have to wrap this stream up because I got to go get my son from youth group at the church. But Braggs, thanks for joining me, dude. It's always good. I feel like, you're like chocolate to my peanut butter, dude. Is that inappropriate?
Yeah, this Viking doesn't go down that.
Does that make you feel weird?
Hey, how about this is what you can do?
Okay.
I'll stay on. I'll answer some questions if you guys have questions. So you can actually back out if you'd like, Matt.
Oh yeah, and then I just leave it running and can you end it?
Yeah, I can end it.
How so?
I hit leave studio and there's nobody left.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, then you'll just you edit out that part.
So here's the only warning I have to you folks. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta talk to some folks myself. Folks, here's the deal. Brandon's gonna take this over. He's gonna tell you to not like and not subscribe. That means his channel, not this one. Okay. So as long as we got that clear, you can listen to all the stuff he has to say about questions and the Pulsechain and all that. But when he tells you not to comment and subscribe, that's to his channel. Okay. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. My name is Matt. And you know what? We got an encore presentation with Brandon from Rags to Riches. Brandon, thanks so much for everything, dude. I appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, you too, buddy. I'll be a good steward of your channel. I promise.
All right. I'll be watching. I can log in and nuke this thing.
I know you can.
All right. See you, man.
All right, dude.
Thanks.
Yep. Oh, no. And then there was one. Can you imagine? All right. If you guys have questions, let me know. I thought about just flipping you guys off and ending it just to be stereotypical Rags here. So, yeah, guys, this is important too. This is really neat. 50 cal pulse. He asked, do you predict Texan to be bigger on Pulsechain? So imagine all of these assets on Pulsechain bonded together with liquidity. Crypto Compassion pointed this out. I think it was. He talks about Hart's Law. If you have, a lot of your liquidity tied into Pulse, PLS, if you have a lot of liquidity tied into PulseX, if you have a lot of liquidity tied into Hex, and then you have liquidity tied into other things, guys, it's all going to push up pretty hard, in my opinion. All right, let's check here. What is the Hex price? Let's check. You guys can tell me what the Hex price is. What we got? Whew. All right. Yeah, we're pushing up hard here. Pushing up hard. All right, cool. Crypto Ethos says, I'm holding, baby. Thank you so much for all the encouragement and coaching. No matter what happens, I appreciate all your wisdom. Guys, you're sitting pretty right now. Everybody in this chat is sitting pretty. Everybody in this chat has the opportunity to be successful in crypto. And I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to say that you need to be successful by trading or this or that. You just be patient. You just stick to your plan and you're going to be fine. And you're going to see that. And the cool thing about this is too, after all this is said and done, after we go through the cycle and you're sitting pretty, you can look these people in the face and say, hey, I'm not going to trade. I don't need to. I don't need the stress. I want to hang out with my family. I don't want to go gray. I don't I don't want to lose my hair. Woo! I got a good head of hair. Got a good head of hair. Should I give my 2 weeks on the job? No. You should pick up more hours. Dump it in. Hex is pumping. Absolutely pumping hard. Hex is skyrocketing. Gotta love it. This is going to happen. Now, yeah, a lot of the people on the other side of the pond are waking up right now, other side of the world. So you're just going to see the sustained pump happening. Now, I kind of agree. I think I saw it with Ramon Carrillo. He was talking about potentially this happening in the next 48 hours. He said within the next 7 days. It could be within the next 48 hours because that was what he was saying prior. He was saying within 48 hours. So that's something to keep in mind there. I claimed Texan but never received anything. Did you ask any of our admins? Go to t.me/Texan token. We'll help you out. DJ to boss. So Brandon, I would imagine you recommend for those who have Hex and have not sacrificed for PLS or PLSX, wait a bit to trade PHEX into PLS or PLSX. All right, so what you guys have to understand about how I operate, I'm an accumulation type guy. I don't like to sell. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to try to hold it for about 2 years, 2 to 4 years. Okay. So with that said, what I have said that I'm going to do with my money, not telling you what to do with yours, I'm going to have dry powder available. Okay. So if you have Hex and you get copies, cool, fine and dandy. I would keep those copies. I'm going to keep those and I'm not going to sell them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to have some dry powder. I'm going to bridge in some USDC and then I'll buy up PLS. I'll buy up PLSX and I'll just buy up kind of what I talked about. Now in my stream, I kind of talked about the Apex assets. I also talked about how monetary energy flows in an ecosystem from the Apex asset down. So I talk all about that too. You can check that video out. $0 airdrops have zero tax until sold. So don't mess around. Separate wallets give more options later. Most likely snapshot happened already. Snapshot did not happen. There is no snapshot. This is a hard fork. I'm going to be very clear about that. There was some confusion about this in the past, but it has been cleared up. So this is a hard fork, to make sure you guys know this. Jamal says, "Oh no, I'm not cut out for." Bro, 20's a 20, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's 20's like a 20,000 though, isn't that right? 20's a 20K. All right. Cool. People texting me. Anything that I could share with you guys? No. Hard fork. Okay, got you. Sam Kemp says, will fees come down on Ethereum? And if they don't, are our assets there rendered useless? So, Sam, fees will not come down on Ethereum quickly. Fees will only come down on Ethereum as other projects move over. And I don't know how long that's going to take. So fees on Ethereum don't come down until the NFT folks and the the SHIB folks and the Dogcoin folks and the meme folks and just all those folks start coming over to Pulsechain. So that means that Pulsechain's fees will rise a little bit and Ethereum's fees will fall a little bit. But between the two, you're going to have some type of synergy that helps everybody out in the world, quite frankly. Do you think this really could be huge? I mean, guys, for you guys, for sure. I mean, there's so many reasons why this is awesome. And one of the reasons why this is awesome, much more than what now, guys, I'm not a Hex OG. I came into Hex in 2021 and I started talking about it. I had a whole group that I onboarded into Hex before I started talking about Hex. So I want to make that clear. But one of my rules is, guys, if you're in on day one, it's huge. What's another important thing? This is the first hard fork of Ethereum 2.0. The first one out there. That's massive first mover advantage. All right. I think that this has what I've been telling people. I think that this has the opportunity to do 100x. Okay. 95% of you guys I know in chat, you haven't experienced 100x. Telling you right now, 100x is really cool. Okay. Really cool. Now, 1,000x is awesome. 10,000x is mind blowing, but I'm sticking to 100x. And if it hits that, I'm super happy. Anything else past that is awesome. It's not FUD. Mayor of Realville, population 1. Yeah, Rags, not everybody can afford to put in hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto. Like it seems a lot of people in this chat. Yeah, and that's the neat thing. You know, if somebody's making, most people in this chat, I would estimate are making $60,000 to $100,000 a year. I think that that's probably a fair estimate. Household income 60 to 100. Some of you guys might be like 100 to 200 if you have a spouse that's, working too. So what I'm going to say about that is maybe you're a person that's making 35, 45, 55K a year. What does $300,000 do for you if you're making 35,000 a year? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Changes a lot. So it's all, it's all proportional. If you can put in X amount, you're going to get out X amount. And it's going to change your life. It really can. All right. Community says, Brandon, where are directions to secure keys from MetaMask using a cold wallet? K4K has 3 videos. Do you have advice for getting directions? It's going to be the same thing because it's an EVM compatible chain. So I'm sorry if that confused you, but you can Google EVM compatible blockchains. It'll tell you what it is. If it's EVM compatible, it's going to work with Ledger and Trezor and all that. So exactly the same way that you've been doing it, you're going to do it when Pulsechain launches. So you can actually look at K4K stuff still. And I haven't made a lot of content about cold wallets and hardware wallets and stuff like that, but I did give everybody some suggestions on my Pulsechain checklist that I launched about a week ago. So you can go to my video, and it'll kind of go over some strategy about creating layers of security and kind of redundant security across all of your wallets and all of your assets. How much is 100K, 40K? What are you talking about? What you talking about? What's my prediction for PulseX? I think it'll do 100X. I think it'll do 100X. If it does more than that, awesome. Now, here's the thing. Okay, we've talked about this before too. Actually, guys, I just got this split unit. I want you guys to tell me. Can you hear this? Sounds like an airplane hangar for me. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Okay. Prediction for PulseX. Yeah, y'all can hear it. Is it real loud? I'll have to figure out how to do. I got this remote control here. All right. Yeah, loud wind noise. Can't hear it. All right. So here's what you got to know. 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021. A lot of you guys have heard me say this. Some of you haven't. Look at when those decentralized exchanges launched on Ethereum. Those native tokens for those decentralized exchanges went bonkers. Talking like someone up to 500x in 3 to 6 months. 500x. Okay. I think the lowest one did like 50. I've done a lot of research on it. I looked at like 10 total, primary 6, Uniswap, Sushi Swap, Pancake Swap, Trader Joe, and Avalanche, and Quick Swap, and all these swaps. They went wild. All right. It was decentralized exchanges. It was their first foray into DeFi and crypto. They just launched. It's brand new. Uniswap kind of paved the way, a true innovation. And we got to see a small glimpse of this happen at the tail end of the last bull run, at the tail end of 2020 going into 2021. And it was wild. Pure craziness. If we hadn't had this huge bubble pop, if we hadn't had all this happen with COVID and all that, and it was more of a sustained bull run, it might have run further, folks. So all I'm saying is PulseX is not really going to have any competition on Pulsechain. It's going to be the most liquid exchange. If it has no competition, if it's an Ethereum 2.0 fork, what do you guys think is going to happen? In my opinion, Pulsechain probably does better than PLSX between now and when we head into the bull run. But I think PulseX is going to be the shining star during the bull run. And it's because it is programmed to appreciate during periods of really, really high volume. And there's a variety of reasons for that. It's not only the buy and burn, which is huge, buys and sells and things like that, but it's also how that PLSX token is going to be paired with assets that are running hard too. So when you bounce that against the US dollar and you look at the value against the US dollar, what you're going to see is Pulsex taking off because it could be leading the charge, or it could be being pulled up by multiple assets at creating massive amounts of value. Here's another thing to consider too. Another thing to consider that most people don't. When you pull up a chart and you look at like Hex USD, right? So that's the value of Hex versus USD. So what if nobody buys or sells anything and Hex is just flat? Or maybe there's an equal amount of buys and sells and Hex price doesn't do anything. But suddenly you see Hex price creeping up. Why would Hex's price be creeping up? If there's not more buys and sells, the value of the US dollar can decrease during times of money printing. Okay? It looks like it's going to turn into the next bull run. It's going to turn into money printing, devaluing the US dollar, which causes those pairs to appreciate against the US dollar even more. So not only are you going to have the buy and burn for PLSX, not only are you going to have the liquidity pools, and all that liquidity is tied together with assets that are running hard anyway, and it's just pulling PLSX up. On top of that, you have a devaluing US dollar against these assets, which those three things are pretty big force multipliers. Now, it'll be interesting what happens with the validators on Pulsechain. That's another thing that we can think about too. What types of buys and burns are there going to be there? If there is some buy and burn, some mechanics there that pump Pulsechain additionally. What do you think the starting price for PulseX? All right, let's just do some math. I've done some math before, but I'm going to make sure I'm telling you. All right, so 1 to 10,000. 4 zeros and a 1. All right, so based off all the data that I pulled in those streams that I did, what we saw with layer ones is they typically pump within 14 days or under. You're going to see a 10 to 15x pump. Some pumped lower, some were like a 2x, but most of them, I would say, probably about an average of 10x pump. And that took on average about 10 to 14 days, followed by a 90% correction. Okay? So then we got to get into the mind of the founder of this project. Sacrifice price is 3 zeros and a 1. That's where everybody breaks even. Now, there are ranking multipliers, so you're actually going to be breaking even already, principal. Because that ranking multiplier and those extra tokens that you get based on where you're ranked, that's just icing on the cake. But if we're just talking about principal, 3 zeros and a 1. All right. Now, where are they going to start price? They're going to start price at that sacrifice value. They're going to do a 10x. Okay. So 10x is what? 3 zeros and a 1 or 2 zeros and a 1. Okay. Don't know. If I were in Richard's shoes, I might start price about a 10x above sac price to keep everybody's principal intact, because we could have, from a 10x, we could have a huge pump, and then we could correct back down 90%. Now, that's another thing, guys. Of all those blockchains, layer ones that happened within the past 2 or 3 years, the Harmonies and the Lunas, the Phantoms, all these, what we looked at was typically 90% correction. 90% correction that could last like 60 to 90 days before you find a floor. So if we launch 10x above SAC price, then that would give some margin and give some space to chew through before people were negative. Texan launched, and I was paying attention to the charts like a madman, like an absolute madman. Texan had a 600% pump, then it had a massive sell-off, all right? But once it hit the donation price, that line was defended, okay? So all you saw was quick wicks down, it popped back up. People want to defend their principle. So I would imagine that that's kind of what happens. You might want to launch a little bit of above to give some margin, to give the price chart ability to correct back down to sacrifice price. And that goes for PLS and PLSX. It seems that in the hierarchy of demand, again, based on the data and all the polls that I ran and those videos that I did, there's demand for Pulsechain. Like 50% of respondents out there, they want Pulsechain. So they're going to get Pulsechain. All right. What was interesting was it seemed like there was more demand for Hex than PLSX. Now that's just a snapshot. Things move, markets move. We don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just thinking out loud and talking out loud here. So Heartbeat going to hit 10K before Pulsechain. Yeah, it's all because of me. I hijacked Heartbeat stream, man. Come on now. I hope it launches above SAC so we can get a fat dumperoni. Only heard it when you first put it on. Is the only way to buy PLSX the first 2 days still to ratio trade PHEX? Or any other asset. I mean, you just need to check and see what type of liquidity is set up in the liquidity pools on Pulsex. I mean, if you could trade Texan, for that. Are people going to take PLS or PLSX and they're going to swap it the other way? Are people going to buy other assets with it? Yes, they are. They're going to do it. It goes both ways. So maybe somebody has huge bags of PLSX and PLS and they just want to go snatch up other stuff. That's pretty much the only way to do it until that bridge comes in. Buffo on the B says, Ragswise Hex selling off already because this is the easiest trading setup for somebody who wants to extract max value. You guys have got to understand that. Guys, this is just like somebody's foaming at the mouth. Like, I want to make a quick 100% on $1 million or $400,000. They're like, oh, Richard just announced it. Cool. Let me just wait until it hits a 1x and boom, sell. So there's tons of traders out there. You guys don't realize there are probably, all right, everybody virtue signals and says they hold and this and that. The blockchain tells a different damn story. And I was naive. I thought I knew how people operated. I was naive until Texan launched. And then I was able to, I paid attention with a different type of fervor. And I saw these people, man. People, and I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you. Okay. This is redistribution of wealth on the blockchain. The impatient hands redistribute to the patient hands. Now, the impatient hands, I don't even know if it's impatient. I mean, that's just your game. If you're a game and you're a trader, then if that's your game, then that's what you do. I'm not trying to knock you. Okay. I want to make that clear. I mean, the point I made on one of my videos is like, let's say that, you got $2 million. Let's say you got $2 million that you sacrifice. Pulsechain pumps a 2x or a 1x, and you're getting out with $4 million or you're getting out with $6 million. Like, that's a lot of money to throw away. Now, yeah, you could hold forever, but it's like $6 million, man. People might do that. And just because people have money, I mean, they're just like you. That's just how it goes, guys. Yeah, mint your weight tokens. That's a good point. Fees are about $100 to mint, around $300 a weight token. Any thoughts from anybody if it's worth it? Money's money. I don't know. I minted mine when they were cheap. I guess I got a little lucky there. Hex back. Let's check. Yeah, you guys are going to see it. You guys are going to see the sell-off, man. I said at the beginning of this, set your expectations properly. Hex can run hard, but there's going to be people that sell this thing down. They will sell the news off. You got to know that. So you just got to wait and see. Be chill. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything for you guys. My two favorite streamers worldwide, 1873. Much appreciated. The only reason that I'm congratulating you is because I'm on the old man's stream right now. I'm on his channel. Samaj G, should I resign? No, do not resign. Pick up extra hours. Guys, Pulsechain's just the starting line. This is not the finish line, folks. This is the starting line. Maybe we could talk about the finish line for some of you here in about 2 or 4 years. Maybe. And then after that, you might want to keep working until the next bull run. Can you confirm now that if I buy Hex now, I will receive a copy from the hard fork? Yes. With all the knowledge that I know right now, and this is not 100% guarantee, I'm going to put the caveat out there, because if you go and buy and it's not the case, it's not on me, okay? But all of my knowledge that I know at this point, there's going to be a hard fork within the next 7 days. And anything that you hold in your wallet at that point, now it could be in 24 hours, could be in 48 hours, could be in 96 hours, could be at 100 some hours, whatever. Are you going to sell Pulse if it 20x's? No, I will not personally. I am not selling Pulse. You're not going to see me take profit out of Pulse for 2 to 4 years. And even then, guys, I've been through the bull cycles. I know how this works. Really, if you really want to maximize it, it's really 2 cycles. If you can delay gratification for 2 cycles, whew, and you're DCAing that whole time, whew. And if you don't believe me, just pull up a Bitcoin chart and TradingView and do the math for yourself. But you will not see me sell at a 20x. I repeat, you will not. You will not. I held damn Dogecoin for 5 years. Dogecoin for 5 years. And guys, there's going to be reasons that you don't even have to sell. There's going to be a lot of loan protocols out there too. And you can play the game very, very safely. We still get a copy of an ERC20 even if they are staked with another person. For example, in GRT, I delegate tokens to an indexer to earn interest. Those tokens do not show my wallet. I don't know. I don't know if is it in a smart contract, or is it a third-party app, or what is it? I don't know. I can't say that. All I can say that is if it exists on the Ethereum blockchain, it will be copied. But isn't the snapshot going to have a cheaper price like regular Hex than the snapshot Hex? So this is not a snapshot. This is a fork. I want to be very clear. This is a hard fork. And we don't know what the price of these assets are going to be. The market will determine the price of those assets. That's why I've been telling people, I say, just have some USDC on the Ethereum side ready to bridge into Pulsechain. You'll do that via pulseramp.com. So that way, if Hex is cheap, maybe you can buy some Hex. If Texan's cheap, maybe you can buy some Texan. If PLS is cheap, maybe you can buy some PLS, PLSX. You want to just have the ability to snipe the opportunities. Okay, so that is something that you do have control over. You don't have control over the price of Hex. You do not. And think about this too, guys. Like, if Hex starts pumping hard, there's going to be guys with big bags that say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and sell this and swap it for USDC. So when the hard fork happens, I can go rebuy on Pulsechain. You might see the real fireworks happen on Pulsechain with P-Hex. Okay, because there's going to be people out there. I know that there's some sentiment amongst folks that have bigger wallets that they want to have dry powder ready to snipe the deals. Samaj says that's the gift and the curse of a decentralized finance system. You can't stop people from trading and affecting other people's bags. If someone bought Hex a day, 500K, they can make easy money. Exactly. That 500,000 is a lot of value, guys. That can pay people's expenses for years. So, congrats to them if they got it. They put it in, they risked it. I'm not going to knock them. But in the long run, even the regular guy can win against somebody who has that money that did the 2x or 3x within the first 20 or 30 days. Keep that in mind. What's up, fam? Robert Kell, Child. What's up? David Lee. Discord Syndicate sent us. Did they really? Who sent you from Discord Syndicate? Hex. Yeah, up 23.7. What am I seeing now? We had a nice little chunky sell-off there, but it's kind of expected. Guys, don't get twisted up. Don't get caught up. Don't get frustrated. Don't go on Twitter and say, why is Hex blah, blah, blah? It should be pumping right now, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a damn about any of that? Delete Twitter. Well, delete everybody else. Unfollow everybody else except for Richard Hart, so you can get those notifications and just stick to your plan. Stay cool, calm, collected. Easy day, folks. So 2 cycles is sometimes it's 8 years, Crypto Trucker. So he asked, is 2 cycles 8 years? Sometimes it's 8 years. Sometimes it's 4 years. Sometimes it's 5 years. We just saw a massive reset for a 10-year run. So I don't know what the next is going to look like. I know that we have a long way to climb back up, which is cool. Could be a very prolonged bull run. Could be. But then there's some weird things happen in the world. So I don't know. Samaj says 10 years, and I'm going to pretend like I don't have Pulse until 10 years from now. A cab driver tells me, you heard about Pulsechain? You should buy it. Guys, I'm telling you. Act like you don't have it. Operate like you don't have it. Continue to work. Don't quit your job. Don't get greedy. One of the biggest things that I have seen bear market after bear market is people feeling like they're absolutely loaded and rich, and really they're not. Okay? So you got to be super careful. They run out of money in the bear market. So that's why 2 cycles could be most for some of you guys. I mean, if you're sitting for $5 or $10 million, and you're going to be okay, but just be smart, guys. Stay in the game, play the game right. How do you think the staking fees on mainnet will be compared to testnet? Significantly less. I got a lot of chats. Guys, tell me how many people are in this. I can't see. I don't want to search it. I'm lazy. How many people are watching us right now? Yeah, I think they're going to be significantly cheaper. Okay. Testnet was, I got a lot of messages from people pissed off that says, Richard promised XYZ, the fees are going to be cheaper and the block times and blah, blah, blah. Guys, you got to realize that they were destroying the testnet with traffic, destroying it on top of Mr. Zinzin Zalabin, Jack Levin, trying to, make his stamp and break the chain too. Couldn't break it. So they were trying to stress test this thing. That's why fees are so much higher. I mean, it was like 4 million transactions in a day or 5 million, something like that. Outlandish amounts of traffic that would never happen in the real world. So it should be cheaper. Where'd my comment go? Was it not true? I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no ability to take any comments off. I wonder what Coinbase and Gemini will do with all of their ERC20 copies. That is a good question. That's a good question. They would probably hold them for liquidity. They would probably hold them to be able to swap people out. And I thought about that. They're certainly not going to give people. Well, you might see some exchanges give those copies to their people, but most won't, I'd imagine. Most will not. Stream tonight for real. Funkmaster Hex, what's up? Evening, y'all. Sure. Get coffee ready. When will cold storage wallets accept Pulse, PulseX, and all the PRC immediately? It's a EVM compatible chain. I might just do 25% on Hex, PLSX, and Texan. 123 people. All right, cool. Taking 5% of my bag and paying on mainnet. Interesting. Playing 2. I'm making $5 million a day in fees. If I'm making $5 million a day in fees, it would be good to see a mainnet in a year or so. Yeah. Almost 5 million transactions. That's a lot of transactions, folks. It's like double, or it's like 125 or 150% of some of the highest days on Ethereum. So we don't have anything to worry about. Yeah. And if you had 8 PLS per transaction, that's still less than a penny. It's 100 PLS per penny. Yeah. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice, guys. All right. I got a lot of stuff to do tonight. Freaking 9:21. I'm just wasting time with you guys. Sorry, I got to be nice. I'm on Crypto Heartbeats channel. Sorry, Jesus. Sorry. All right. See if there's anything I missed here. Now, the question of the day is, if I leave studio, I wonder if this is going to stop the stream. Probably won't. But if it doesn't, then you guys just get to hang out. You guys get to hang out. Crypto Heartbeat's picking his son up like a pleb. All right. Any more questions? You guys let me know. I will give you guys about 30 more seconds because I know there's a delay. Community says you're comforting. Sorry. Sorry you feel that way. Sorry you feel that way. Yeah, Hex continues to sell off. What's actually winning right now? Pulse Bitcoin's pumping. Texan's up. Icosa's up. Hedron's up a little bit. Most of the liquidity is with Hedron is tied up in Hex. And the new daily candle just started. So let's go down to 4 hour. Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot of people selling that off. Guys, just don't get upset. Just stick to your game. We're fine. Like I said, guys, Pulsechain ain't even launched yet. You're going to be so good. You're going to be able to tell people you bought Pulsechain like week 1, day 1. You know how many few people in the world in crypto can say that? That's big. That's gigantic. Whoa. All right. Will you shave when launched? No. I promised you guys that I'm not. So I'm going to shave my beard when we launch. And then I'm not allowed to shave until we hit 1,000x. Oh, no. Crypto Heartbeat.
What is
So they called me out, man. They reminded me about my no shave promise.
Oh.
So I can't shave till 1,000x.
Yeah, really? That's going to be easy top, man.
That's going to be tough, man. So I'm going to donate that ginger beard to science.
Well, I listened to you all the way home, and you did well. You did really well.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
You know what? I was like, I'm learning something here on my own channel.
All right. You're the man, Rags. You tried not to smile. I saw it. How long till Ophir donation ends, and will it allow Pulse?
So yeah, the donation, I have a feeling that there's going to be a bit of an extension on the donation phase. I'm not positive, but it's coming up here we've got to be within 15 days. It may get extended a little bit because the audit, we're finishing up the audit on CertiK for it. And then we want to make sure that's in place. But we have said we're going to launch on Ethereum and we're going to launch on Pulsechain. So we did not factor in the fees, and I wonder if John has. So we'll have to think through that whole thing. So.
Well, that's an interesting. That's kind of interesting that people would bring that up. Can we donate Pulsechain? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Think about this. Some subgraph indexers for GRT tokens have 800 million GRT tokens in their smart contracts that are other people's. Wonder how that will pan out on PLS. Same thing for many other cryptos. It really depends on the people who control those smart contracts. You know, and I guess they can, if they decide to adopt Pulsechain and adopt front ends, they could send those back out, or people could withdraw. I don't know the actual mechanisms, but Pulsechain is going to cause problems for a lot of people, but it's going to solve problems for a lot of people too. All right, Mateo, I got to bounce, man.
Yeah, I'm out too. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. Brandon, thanks for taking over and being such a good steward.
Yeah, man.
It was unlike you to be so kind and thoughtful.
Yeah, don't rub it in my face.
I won't. And let's just say goodbye and hello to the only one. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. Brandon, thanks for taking care of everything. Folks, we are within 7 days. We are literally, you could count them in hours away from the Pulsechain launch. It is so great. Look forward to our stream. Once we know the hard fork has happened, we're going to get on stream with Crypto Panda and Brandon, and we're going to have some more alpha. Brandon, you're really bringing value, and I appreciate it so much.
Cheers, man. Love it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bye. Don't mess with Texas. See y'all.